And welcome back to Canadian Disc Golf Productions. This is the back nine of round one of the SAW Open. I am Chris Brown.
And I'm Galen Naidu-Harris. I think at one point we're going to have to say welcome back to another Canadian Disc Golf production.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because it's
Sure.
Canadian Disc Golf Productions and they're all individually a Canadian Disc Golf production. I think that would be, just mix it up,
Yeah.
keep the audience guessing.
Maybe. Write this down a little bit. Thank you to our sponsors again, helping out the tournament a lot. Fantastic. PDJ Canada as well.
Yeah, so grateful to all you guys for making this happen. It's amazing.
So this is the back nine of the long bomber course.
Yeah, and
we played the front nine already.
Cam continuing to try and do a cannon bomb into the small pond there.
We could have used it after this round. It was hot.
Yeah, seriously, this is a hot day.
Mm-hmm.
Jake, double thumbs up for his front nine. Very solid at 4 down.
That's right. Doing really well. Like a 4 down is actually, if you came in with a 4 down at the end of it, you might be okay. Might be pretty happy with it.
Well, I would be happy with it. Yeah.
So thank you, Jeff Malusi, for sponsoring hole 10, either the triangle hole or the Dorito hole, depending on who you are.
Ooh, I like both.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I would tend to Dorito because I like Doritos.
So this is an OB triangle, or inbounds triangle with OB everywhere else.
Yeah, so it's like an island, but it's not a circular island like a lot of us are used to. It's a triangular one. It's a Dorito island.
No corn this time of year, or this at this moment. So lucky for us that we can have to see the basket, but you can see how tight it is.
Yeah.
You can have something land before the basket and skip long if you're not careful. So it's just it's a tough one. It's downhill.
Yeah, I feel like this is the standard play. Cam gets a little long, but for me, I don't really love going straight at it or bringing something up the left as it tightens from left to right. Rather take something right to left, hyzer a putter or maybe a mid. Nice skip into the Dorito there.
Nice.
Yeah.
I went justice on a severe hyzer just to hit the ground and stick.
Yeah, Justice is like a super overstable mid.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I would be doing.
Like a mutant or anything else like that.
Yeah, I'd be chucking like a gator or like a pig if I was feeling bold.
Sure, it's probably a little more stable than that, but yeah, that's the right idea. Something slightly overstable. James does not go overstable
gets away
enough.
from him.
And if you know anything about the left side of this fairway,
I mean, I would say he almost goes too overstable because that went very far left.
Yeah,
it's more the release angle than the disc doing the work.
I think you're trying to float it there carefully instead of just throwing it hard and
letting the disc do the work.
Exactly.
Something a little more overstable.
Yeah. So he's going to go
Interesting
drop
to see Jake going with a forehand here.
I don't hate the play because you're throwing downhill at the slope.
Yeah, I don't mind it, and clearly he executed very well, worthy of a plastic playback. But again, just sort of looking at how that out of bounds carves itself up, I would want to have something that I'm more comfortable traveling towards the thicker part of the OB instead of traveling towards the thinner part in that point.
The thing is, he's throwing straight at the ground. So when we're throwing it straight at the ground, it's going to hit the ground and it's going to stick.
It's pretty hard ground, though. There's some, I mean,
Sure.
Clearly, like, he executed well. I'm not talking about this shot, just more philosophizing that I don't know if I would trust this ground not to take a big skip. And if it is going to take a big skip, I'd rather do it at the point of the Dorito and skip towards the long edge.
Sure. Oh, it's Cam and James.
Both very good bids.
Both come out short, or just come out a little bit off on the 3-putt from the drop zone.
Jake tapping in.
I think if I was a little more comfortable with my forehand, this is definitely a forehand hole for me. I know what you're saying, but if you can just throw it at the float flat at the ground, it's gonna hit and stop.
Nah, you're crazy. It's not.
Okay.
Nah,
sure.
No way.
Nope. Okay.
0%.
Yep.
Cam puts that with puts a little stank on that putt.
So
no, I see where you're coming from too. For me, I would rather have something go towards the largest chunk of OB instead of away from it. So that's my take, but I get it 100%.
So hole 11, the Top Link Ace hole, the $2,000.
$2,000.
Ace this hole. 305 feet. It's kind of blind. You can see the top of the basket.
You can't see much off the tee.
You can see the top of the basket, but that's about it. So you're just trusting your distance control. And then if you get a little bit long, you go into these trees, you can have a tough putt coming out.
Oh, 100%. I do love the way that the dynamic of a hole changes when it's a sponsored ace hole, because all of a sudden very few people are laying up or playing the safe play into the ground near the basket. They are just put it in the chains. I want my $2,000.
I actually didn't know it was an ace hole until after I threw.
Oh, no way.
I did not hear that. I did not know that.
Oh, I still like the play.
And I got a new watch now. I don't actually have a new watch. Yeah, I was happy with it. It kind of went a little farther in the trees than I thought it would, but
this is another one where I think my philosophy has proven to be a little bit different from how you folks are throwing it so far. For me, I always like to try and skip something into the grade of a hill if I can. I would rather almost take a forehand up the left side and let it skip in towards the basket up the hill instead of letting a backhand fade out with it. It looks like Cam's thinking something similar.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that makes perfect sense if you do it. But those trees on the left do come into a play very quickly. So
well, and to be fair, like I'm giving you folks a lot of credit because you're all really good at disc golf, but this is over 300 and it is uphill, so that's a lot on what would have to almost certainly be a hyzered forehand because you can't flex it too far.
Yeah, so James threw that perfectly and ended up right at the basket because those trees on the left are just so aggressive. Jake really got a hold of this one and just yanked it over. I don't know if he just went too slow of a disc and really had to power it or what happened, but
yep.
Oh, he almost
thinks
drops
off
that
the top. Yep. And there you are from the middle of the jungle. Tarzan lining up a putt.
Buggy in there too for sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The one thing I will say, the only bad thing that I will say about this course, and it's not about the course at all, it's just there's a lot of bugs you got to prepare for. So if you play it, bring some bug spray, you'll be all right.
Cam here from his pretty good drive. It really did look like he was going to come up short with that high he threw it, but
it doesn't look that bad. I'm trying to account for the camera taking off some feet. It looked like maybe 25 feet.
Yeah, I'd give him that.
Very nice putt. Looked like it was in the whole way. And James taking a knee from the edge here.
Lucky to get out or be able to get his body out.
Yeah. Nice putt. From like a lot of the foliage at Winter Farms can be very dense. So yeah, I mean, even if you find yourself 5 feet in, that's a tough fight back out. So he's lucky you can sort of take a knee and straddle out to that knee out.
Jake with his hot start taking the only 3 on the card. Everyone else deucing it, getting the 2. Well played by the card. No ace money though.
No
I don't
ace
think
money.
Nobody hit it either. So
there's always next year.
Hole 12, sponsored by Disc Golf Dreams.
I kind of like this one. It's a really, I mean, it feels like sort of looking at it like a sort of like a standard forehand, but when you actually play it, there's a lot of, it's like it's a weird angle. I don't quite know how to describe it, but it's not like a straightforward hyzered forehand or like a flippy putter. There's something just about the way that the gradient of the hill goes down as you're sort of fading out. If you take a forehand or a flippy putter or something, that makes it like just that extra little bit of challenging and fun.
I think the smart thing is just a safe forehand, hit the gap.
Yep. No, I would agree. And not hit that tree and kick left.
Yeah, don't kick left. Not good.
Yeah. No, I think that is the play, but I'm like, it feels like it should be pretty easy to get one there for a birdie putt, and it doesn't play that way in my experience. It's definitely possible, but it's not. Yeah, that's exactly it. You just sort of shrug, and I think it's good.
I thought that looked perfect.
I agree.
That looked perfect.
That looked perfect, and we'll have to see if it is, because this can be a weird one.
This looks too straight to me as he catches the trees.
Yeah,
deep.
I'd agree. Yeah, I think it just kept going a little bit. It faded out a half second earlier, but great. Oh, and I see here on the T sign that Disc Golf Dreams has a podcast. I'm going to have to check that out. I'm always looking for new podcasts. Or perhaps Disc Golf Dreams is the podcast. I don't know. Either way, give it a listen.
I gotta step out here with a little flex forehand to get the proper route to the basket here.
Yep, I love that. Is that your little orange X3?
That is my orange X3. Thanks,
nice. Love it.
Thanks for calling it orange. People keep telling me it's yellow.
I don't listen to those people. They're bad influences in your life. And Cam, again, looked perfect. Skips a little long, but still has a look at it from a bit of an awkward stance in place.
You gotta wonder how he gets into that tree.
Wow.
Because there's barely any way to come back out.
Yeah.
As he makes a great putt.
Yeah, very nice.
Jake, who threw what I thought was a perfect shot as well, coming up a little bit short too, so.
That connects. This is what we were sort of talking about. I couldn't really put it into words. I still can't. But it's just that little je ne sais quoi about the hole where you feel like you hit it perfect and you're not always getting the perfect result.
It's a unique style or type of putt and throw, and like it's just, it has to be perfect. Yeah,
the way it sort of doglegs slightly left to right, and then the way it goes downhill as well, the stuff near the basket. Just interesting. And a nice putt there for your 3, I believe.
It was.
It's a nice 3 save given where you started off the tee.
Yeah, hitting that first tree, you're not not liking it. It is what it is. The only 3 on the cord. Good for them for getting the 2s. That's a tough one.
No, that's great. And hole 13, sponsored by PMW Productions. This one's another one that is, again, I don't know that I can sort of express it adequately, but it's interesting. It's a very unique shot shape, and then that shot shape is affected greatly by all the trees that are everywhere in your flight path as well. It feels like a hyzer. For me, it's like a skip shot with something not like overstable, but like pretty stable. It seems like Cam disagrees though.
Yeah, he's going just trying to play one safe, just trying to hit the gap, and he does okay with it. But I think he catches trees high and fall. Yeah, he used to be able to throw a high stalling shot, but this tree every year is slowly getting lower.
I was gonna say, I don't remember when I was talking about how I would play this. I don't remember that tree being there.
You're probably playing it from the shorts.
I have played it from the shorts. I have also played it from the longs, but I don't remember that tree being quite as in the way.
Yeah,
but I am used to playing shorts in this course for sure.
The skip shot's there, but it's not really. It's really tight. You got like a 3-foot window to hit if you want the skip shot. You're really just trying to play it, kind of get lucky, to be honest with you.
Just like a high, fading, hard, like whatever fairway mid.
I'm still gonna try to go with a high stall shot. That branch is right where I'm trying to throw it, so it's gonna get close, but not close enough as that catches.
I like that release. You caught something?
It was good, but it caught the top of the trees, and then the top of the trees caught it. Yeah. So I'm all the way at the top of the trees, in the trees, right ahead of Jake.
There's a lot to contend with. You got that branch, you got the branches up high on the actual trees, and then when you get up close, you got all these little trunks here. It's tricky.
Yeah, Cam getting a decent look at his getting into a decent spot. I wouldn't call it good, but probably the best on the card because James got kicked and went way left.
Yeah, lining up a forehand roller, it looks like.
Yeah, Jake came up early. I'm in the trees on the right, so great shot from Cam there.
Yeah, I like that. It's again talking about all those tree trunks. Tough for him to air a shot out. It looked like so you got to go to that knife's edge on a flick roller, and James tries to do the same from a different spot, but unfortunately doesn't get the result he's looking for. And we're seeing a lot of forehand rollers here because that's what this hole begets.
There's not much out of the woods if you get into the woods around here.
Yep. James still fighting. Get out the machete, buddy. And there we go. It punches through. And
this is for Jake's 3.
Gonna say for Jake's 3.
Definitely not what you want on this hole, but it's just a difficult hole. It comes above the cage.
Yeah, gives it an honest try.
Oh, he's getting a plastic playback on a cage head. That shows you how difficult that putt was.
Seriously, look at all those trees in the way and everything. Wow.
Yeah, I don't see the skip shot working too much here anymore. It's just so tight and so aggressive.
Yeah,
I had nothing there. There was
tight and aggressive
nothing to go for. James, on the other hand, has a big gap here to go for. That's out, I think that's outside circle 1 by a bit.
That looks like maybe 40 feet, 45 at the most. But definitely not a gimme. Cam cashes in as well.
That's good 3s. Neither Cam or James.
Not an easy hole to 3.
Now, neither Cam or James got off to their optimal start on the hole, so for them to scramble up and save their par, it's great. Jake and I taking the 4s, and you're not too upset with it. The 4 is fine. It's not good, but it's not fine.
Yeah, no, I think a 4 is all right.
Yeah, and there was only one 2. Another Chris Tao. Another one where he gets the solo birdie on the day.
A couple of these solo birdies. See if anybody can get a solo birdie on hole 14, for which we thank Peace Bridge Disc Golf, the sponsor of the hole. This is another interesting look. I feel like now I'm like retreading all the same things I've said, but it bears repeating. Like there's a lot of really interesting, very precise placement shots on this course. The
middle section of this 18 holes, this 18 holes on this course is very unique, very strange. You're not getting a full power throw on almost any of the throws.
Yeah, and it's not a lot of shots that you're used to throwing, so you're forcing yourself a little bit out of your comfort zone.
So this one here, you kind of want to just throw like a soft turnover putter or a soft flex forehand just to the right of that tree, and you want it to come to rest maybe 100 feet in front of it. So you're not going for much. You're just going for placement.
Yep, agreed.
No. As Cam throws directly into the big tree, which is a common mistake.
Like not the worst kick. He kicks out in the middle. Have a look from there to put something down closer to the basket. Not a good one, but better than having kicked to the left and into the crap.
James was looking real good. If it was a little lower, it's as it does, but that's where you want to go. That V tree in the distance. If you can get just to the right of that, you're doing really well.
Yeah, agreed.
It doesn't really line you up for anything at the basket, but it gets you the option to go. Ooh, as he gets just around that V tree, so I think he'll be okay.
I think if you get a little, as long as you're long of it, a little left is okay as well, eh?
No, you don't want to be left. You don't want to be left at all.
Maybe I'm picturing a different tree.
You'd rather be right.
Okay.
Really working this practice in today. And get the same result as James, just getting up a little high and.
Yeah, it goes to show what a tough gap it is. Wow.
So this is where Cam off the big tree.
Just nothing to look at from there.
Yeah, he's just laying up smartly. Which
great shot. Yeah, I was going to say, just for our viewers, I was going to describe where the basket is, and all you have to do is follow Cam's shot and just keep following it a little bit down that gap there.
Yeah, you got to go left about 120 feet from there, but that's exactly where you want to be. It's where you optimally want to be on your drive, but...
Oh, come on. Fade back a little bit. There we go. I thought that was going to get tangled up on the right-hand side, but James's forehand roller gets out.
I'm going a little greedy here. I'm going to try and get the skip shot around the corner.
I like it. What do you got that you're lining it up with?
That's a Justice.
That's the Justice. Yeah. Old Faithful. Oh, that is not rewarding your faith.
No, it was, I think, still the right play. I agree. I just missed.
Happens.
Now I got to lay up here to a spot where I can maybe make a putt.
You know, for somebody who doesn't throw a lot of forehands, you're throwing a lot of forehands and you're throwing them well. I love it.
I've always been pretty good at the putter. It's like throwing an ultimate disc.
Sure. I don't know if I've ever asked you. Do you have like an ultimate background that predates your disc golf, or like started around the same time?
Very recreationally playing ultimate.
Nice.
Very recreationally.
I didn't even play it at all. Recreationally, pro, nothing.
As Jake throws a phenomenal upshot there.
Yeah, that was great. James, have a look at the basket from here?
No.
I was picturing him being in a different gap than he was, but nice to get up and down from there for a putt.
Lucky to get to where he was, to be honest. That roller came out a little bit early.
Yep.
Cam, great shot for his 3. Going to be tapping in a 4, a par.
Yeah, I think you'd love to hit a 3 here, but it's tough. I don't think you're super upset with the 4 on this hole.
I think I may have misspoke because Jake is putting for his 3 from real close, as I remember correctly now. James, absolutely fantastic putter. Puts it right in the center with confidence.
Yeah, and Cam lining it up. Chris smiling in the background on the left. Also squinting from the sunlight, it looks like.
Probably got sun in my eyes.
Yeah.
Or not sun, sweat.
Maybe both.
It was a sweaty day.
It was.
All right, that's a bogey I didn't want to take. It's a tough hole, but the 4 is very gettable.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, you have 2 really tough placement shots, and then you're sort of starting from there for do you make a 3 or 4 or 5 out of it.
As Jake taps in, there's only 3 threes there, including
honestly,
Jake Nahana and Chris Toe again. Look at that.
Nice. That's not one I'm super shocked about. That's a tricky hole.
So it's just one of those holes where you just need to get your 4 and be happy. Hole 15, sponsored by Days Inn. It's where they had their lodging. What word would you use? The events place for the hotel.
Whatever. Oh, okay, yeah. Their hotel for like the tournament sort of
like
thing?
That discounted, the one where they...
Yeah, I don't know the word either, but I think everybody knows what we're talking about.
Yeah, so hole 15, you're just trying to go as far as you can, but if you turn it over at all, you're going OB into the...
Yeah, because all those reeds are out of bounds.
So
I think that's the only OB on the hole, eh?
And long, there is a fence line.
Oh, yeah.
It's like 10 feet behind the basket. I mean, fence line.
If you're throwing long 609 uphill,
well, I think your second
I'm
shot.
Concerned. Yeah, no, I know. I just meant off the tee. I don't think there's anything else to contend with. But yeah, I have actually gotten myself into trouble with that OB fence line behind the hole.
Yeah. This hole is interesting because
great shot from James.
You want distance and you don't want to go right, but if you farther left you go, the more hill you have to throw off of, which makes your second shot that much harder. So ideally, where James landed is a great spot. you get flat ground-ish.
Yep, I'm thinking for me this would be something I'd go full power on. I'm guessing that was maybe your Wraith. A little bit of flip in it, but no, it's going to finish left.
Yes.
Maybe started on just a little bit of hyzer.
You can see the hill that Cam
like
just
that.
had to throw off of, and obviously
gets himself to a nice spot though.
Loses his balance. He's short. He's not happy with it. That's definitely one he can make.
Yeah, that's true. But it doesn't look like he's 200 feet or anything. He's just not.
No,
he'd like to be almost parked from there, and just doesn't quite get that release.
This is a pretty.
So I would feel like that would be the standard mistake off the tee, is something that fades just a little bit too hard towards the marshes. Well, you're trying to get every bit of power you can.
The funny thing about this hole is you look at the basket and you're just assuming that the ground is level. But if you throw your disc on the level of the ground, it's on Annie.
Yep.
As Jake throws a huge hyzer here for his second shot. To be able to throw a hyzer in as your second shot is absurd.
Especially given almost all of this hole is uphill. Like, wow.
If you're throwing level with the ground, it's on Annie, it's going all right. So you have to keep that into mind when you're throwing here.
For sure. I'm thinking this is one I'd want to... Oh, wow. Shot. I'd want to default to something similar to what Jake was doing with the high hyzer, but my goodness, you're making that flex shot look good.
It's just far. Like, it was probably 300 feet, maybe 280 into the basket.
And uphill the whole way.
With bad footing.
Yeah.
Ooh, as Cam comes out early left again.
That's unfortunate.
That's
Leaves
not
himself
too bad,
a putt, but another one where he'd like to be under the basket there.
James is lucky to have the ability to stretch out like this.
Yeah, it's the second where he's had a nice stretch out from the edge of some shrubbery.
There you go,
Jake. That'll be a 3 there, hey?
Yeah, and you're gonna see.
It makes it look easy. Like, smashes the drive, great hyzer into the basket and a short putt. That's exactly how you draw it up.
Yeah, you're gonna see. Assuming I make my putt, you're gonna see 2 of the 3 birdies on the day today.
Amazing.
Good job to Ezra, who throws ridiculously far.
This is Ezra,
on getting the other Ezra
Lockington.
Lockington, on getting the other 3 on this hole.
Yeah, I was thinking Ezra Aderhold probably wasn't here. Maybe next year.
Maybe next year. Yeah.
Come on, Chris. Big putt. Oh, let's go.
Stressful.
Huge.
I love getting this hole. This is just one of those ones that it's all about distance and control. So
and I would say those are 2 of the stronger points of your game. You got power for days, and you got good control of your angles and your discs. So nice to see you gash it.
Hole 16. The simplest hole you can imagine. 328 feet. It's on the top of this spine, so anything that leaks left or right just filters away from the basket or anything that goes long.
Yep. I was gonna say, like, it's super simple, but you don't want to take a big skip away.
Yeah. My preferred play, if what I would imagine is the best play, is just throw a forehand out to the left, spike it into the hillside, and just have it skip up to the basket.
Yep. Agreed. And want to thank Enterprise Brand for sponsoring this hole as well. But yeah, I would agree. There's nothing that's ideal, but I think if you use a lot more of that airspace on the left with a big old forehand hyzer, it'll just skip in and settle nicely.
And Jake's just gets away from him there, just a little too high, I think.
Yeah, and if we're sort of talking about if you make a mistake here, what happens to your disc? Unfortunately, with those hyzers fading away with the hill, they're going to skip pretty far down. Certainly, if you take your forehand hyzer high, you'll have the same issue. But if you take it wide, your skip's going to still put you a little bit closer, I would think, than your miss with a
just
backhand
like
hyzer.
This is what you want to do.
Perfect.
Throws it a little long. It's probably close to 300 feet. I know it says 238, but I don't think that's correct. Surprised to see 3 out of the 4, especially with James's forehand proficiency. Surprised to see him not just take like a justice out to the left and just play it in. Yeah,
I was gonna say, if you're looking at 3 or so, I mean, we just saw him throw a 300 and some odd foot hyzer. Maybe it was an uphill. I don't know, but I know he's got that shot, and it feels like the shot to use. It's just I feel like again, looking at shrinking your misses, there's just a little bit more room to play with a forehand versus with that backhand, especially when you're hyzering a disc.
Jake's probably about 50 feet away right here.
And uphill and cashes it, of course.
Just makes it look effortless.
Yeah, that was a beautiful putt.
So far. Look how far Cam went. He's outside circle deep here.
Yeah, and again, we were talking about, I mean, obviously not perfect, but that's about as good as it gets off the tee unless you're going to be parked. And again, with that hill behind the basket, you still find yourself not super close.
Marvel placement right there. Perfect.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to marvel at this putt.
Oh.
Almost.
Cam's had a lot of those today, just off the band, off the cage, just not dropping.
So have you. It feels like everybody's been a little bit snake bitten on the putting green in different ways.
I don't remember James missing too many putts as he misses a putt. Sorry, James.
We spoke it into existence.
Yeah, James and Jake have not been missing too many putts, but
no.
As Jake 7 down can attest to.
My goodness, yeah. He's on fire.
That one miss. Just tapping in our threes here. Definitely a hole you want to get. That's as must get as you get on this course. So, but only 7 birdies, oddly enough. It's just mentally it gets in your head and the hills and everything like that. And it wasn't windy, so I don't know the problems.
7's not bad though. I mean, you do think of it as a must get, and you're expecting to play under par, but I mean that's what, about half the field, give or take.
A little less than half.
A little less than half.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, I'd think a little more than half or more than that. But
sorry, no.
Yeah.
No, exactly half the field.
Okay.
Hole 17, sponsored by Disc Golf Days Group Events. Again, thank you, Patrick. 400. It says 431. I'm thinking it's more. I'm thinking 430 just gets you to the top of the second hill there.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's a pump from back here.
I think it's probably closer to like 480.
Yep.
Is my guess.
And a little downhill. I'm
Jake
expecting. I mean,
smashes
you all can smash when called upon, but you're probably putting everything you got into this drive, or just about.
Yeah, that's a little bit right, but that was absolutely like smashed.
Good distance, maybe just a tad short, but not much, and just a little to the right.
That's about as far as I've ever seen anyone throw this hole.
Yeah, that was a smash. Jake's got a real arm on him, so I'm not surprised. As do you, and I love the full flight you're getting out of that disc.
I got full.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah. And it's like this is what we're talking about. This is a long hole. You can throw hard and far, and you smash that, and it still comes up a little short.
Yeah, I think I put that one out about 430, and it didn't even crest the hill. So
wow. And Cam smashes one out to a similar spot.
On pure hyzer though, there is a bit of a right to left wind here to assist on those gentle hyzers. As James is going to try and play the flex shot like I did and just not get
doesn't
over
quite
on it.
flex for him, I guess, with that right to left wind. You're not having a favorable amount of support from the air there.
Honestly, on this hole though, it doesn't really matter because it's just about the second shot. Nobody's really, unless you got a huge tailwind, nobody's really pushing the basket.
Sure.
There's a couple people, Ezra, Jake, Sergey on a good forehand.
Oh, good bid. Yeah, it feels like, best case, you're giving yourself a chance for like a bit of a long throw-in or a real big jump putt or something.
Yeah, that's sort of what I'm playing for, is just get to the top of this hill so I can just run it down sort of like this and hope it goes in. But look how far away we are, and Jake threw this thing to the moon. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the furthest throws I've seen in Ontario disc golf coverage, and still comes up a little short. So that's playing like a monster of a hole. And cashes the comebacker.
Yeah, he ran that putt a little bit. Came a little long, but that's no problem for.
I'm not surprised to see there's
Mr.
no birdies
Voskamp
on this hole for the day. This is at this distance. My goodness.
I would love to see more advanced stats like Circle 1 in regulation, Circle 2 in regulation, to see if anyone actually got there. But
yeah, agreed. Man, imagine making Circle 1 on this and then flubbing the putt. That'd be the worst.
If I ever make Circle 1 on this, I'm flubbing that putt.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. And then, so
just collecting some comebackers, lots of threes here, I'd expect. Looks like the scorecard's reflecting that.
Pretty much everyone. And the only way you miss this one is if you botch your upshot.
Sure. Yeah, like you said, it's all about the upshot.
Yeah, so you would expect most people to get a 3. Hole 18, the final hole.
The long bomber.
The long bomber.
Yeah.
It is a par 3. It says 444.
I feel like
I don't believe it.
I feel like that's a little long. Not crazy, but I think it plays a little shorter than that.
No,
you think it plays longer?
Oh my goodness, yes.
Okay.
Maybe
this is just me assigning my short tee pad mindset.
It is not in this position. It's up on the hill, short left here.
Oh.
This is last year's position. I believe we're reusing. There you go. That's what it looks like.
Yep.
So it's everything Jake and I have to get a 70-foot jump out of this basket.
Oh, so then this is like closer to 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jake throws a good throw.
Does it play slightly uphill from there?
Yes, slightly.
Not much, but.
So Jake there throws down a little bit more right than you would like. The idea is to go kind of just over my left shoulder here is optimal.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, it looked like good power, but I think you want to be a little further left there. Those willows I usually use as like a visual marker from the short tee pad is you want to be left of that.
Yeah, as I also come up a little bit right here. There is an OB line. The reads on the right are OB, so you don't want to be anywhere near them. There's no reason to be near them. Throw it to the left. Make your upshot from up on top of the hill instead of below.
Yeah, this is another one where your upshot certainly is what makes or breaks your hole. You're not at a point, I don't think, with many folks where you're looking at a 2 here. So play it smart. Don't try and bite off too much distance and flip over. Just hyzer it in and upshot.
As James does exactly that, and you can see Jake landed behind that tree about a foot OB and had to come all the way back to here to take this shot.
Oh, that's brutal.
And then he leaves it short.
Yeah, it's not fun.
James went OB in the same spot, learning from Jake's mistake, and
go in. Oh my goodness! Wow,
he's
what a look from back there.
This is where Cam's fantastic drive got to.
That's great.
I don't know if he's running this or not. He's got his polecat in his hand, his Halo polecat. Love that disc.
It feels like a nice disc for like a safe bid.
Yeah.
It's gonna sort of hover down nicely wherever you put it.
Yeah. So Jake was over where my cart was, but he had to go way back to make his putt, to make his OB shot.
Yeah.
I got lucky enough. I was about 6 feet in bounds. Don't need to be anywhere near that OB, as we said.
Nice. Yeah, definitely.
Jake for his 4 from circle's edge.
Just doesn't quite get all of it. It does sit though. Look like he was gonna go for a roll there for a second.
And then just the rest of us up here for our 3s.
Yep. Oh no.
Yep.
Oh come on.
It was honestly, I'm not even mad about the putt. The putt was good. You got pushed out by the chains.
A lot of chains.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot you can do.
Yeah. It was a little bit right, but
at the end of the day, we're throwing plastic at chain links that are draped from pieces of metal. It's only going to be so precise.
Yeah, exactly.
Every once in a while, you're going to do what you can, and it's not going to listen to you.
Yeah. So unfortunately, that putt there kept me off of lead card for the second round.
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
so but luckily I won't have to commentate on myself in the second round. It's a little hard to do sometimes. So.
Yep. Well, I'll miss you on screen, but you're still sitting right next to me, so it all works out.
It's good now. I won't know what's happening, which is exciting. Jake had his 8 down going into that hole, double bogeys it.
Oh no, that was because he missed that putt too.
Is still in the lead.
Still though, like I was gonna say, still 6 down is strong.
Yeah. Jake Voskamp. Cody, I'm going to mispronounce his last name. Maisonneuve.
Perhaps, if I'm Frenching it up a little bit.
Nahan, Faye, and Mr. Zanini again.
Mr.
So
Zanini.
2 out of the 4 made it onto the lead car for the second round.
Great. Well, looking forward to seeing those 2 and their 2 new compatriots.
Yeah, so now that we've finished the open holes, let's get into the winding woods, or torture, as some people call it.
Yeah, the torturing woods, the deathly wood. I don't know. There's got to be something that's like more aggressive than winding because they are tough.
They are very tough, and it is also, again, the second round on a very, very, very hot day.
Yeah.
So hopefully
and
fatigue doesn't kick
gassed,
in.
You've already worked on a lot of placement shots. Yeah. Okay. Good luck to everyone.
Yes, make sure you tune in to watch that in the second round.
Absolutely. Looking forward to seeing you in a second, Chris Brown. I'm Galen Naidu Harris.
And again, I am Chris Brown.
See you in the next one.